Welcome back. It's Constantine, the Foolosopher. Today, I want to talk about how AI saved my life. In parentheses, YouTube as well. 20 years ago plus when it came out. The amazing part about all this technology, first of all, I want to say that I see people always hesitant. When I remember when Napster came out, people were like, oh, piracy. YouTube was like, suing and everything. They had a hard time, to understand because, at the beginning, we don't know. When new technology comes out, we panic. And there is, there are dangers, there are things that going to eventually have to change. But the beauty of it is that it makes things, suddenly we live in a new world where those tools can take our work to a next level, facilitate, make us, enjoy life better. Kind of like with the phone right now. You see, I can make video. I don't have to deal with, a movie company to make my own content. I can go through this channel, for example, or other channels. And all this technology, many people are afraid. They're like, oh, I'm too old, or, I don't have time, oh, it's too complicated, blah, 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 blah. At the beginning, everything is, and also, anyway, people, are very hesitant to move on. I don't say, to just jump in, but I will explain to you why AI helped me, with a lot. First of all, it's out with money, right? I program, right? A lot. I do art a lot. Well, I'll tell you something. It has made my programming time, I would say, minimum 50% faster. It has become my best assistant. So, the tools are insane out there. And I haven't even, I don't even use the advanced one. I just use the basics. It's so cheap, and so available. And it breaks my heart to see people playing video games or just lost or spending time in school, just wasting time. Where you can use those tools, for free and crush it and go 10,000 steps ahead of, 10,000 people pretty much, within minutes, than just, watching a movie or some crap, like something, stupid content. To learn something, those tools are literally your best assistant, Anything you have question with, your health, finances, you just, you don't know anything about something, you can ask, boom, you have a little plan. It's not, a genius, but trust me, it will give you a starting point and some good ideas to reference so you can crush it, and make, money. Like you can even say hey, I have $10, how do I make, $1 million? And it will give you, some plans. I mean, it's unbelievable, So for me, coding, it crushed it, 50%. Sometimes I would say, 90%, in some cases, it goes really sometimes I become the assistant, to double check, if it's too complicated, I start revising what it gives me some advice so I can, make sure it's correct and I'm blown away. Sometimes I'm really blown away. Some things, that I wouldn't even think myself. Same with art, and you see, like I said last video yesterday about connecting the dots, life is a puzzle, right? Well, it really helps with that because you start when you have a conversation with the machine. Right now you can do it with Google. Also, Google has a free software. You can upload a podcast and conversate with it, ask a question, like in the podcast, you're in the podcast, and you can conversate with the people. And you can also ask, hey, what's that reference? Or can you give me more details about this and that, or this fact, or these statistics? I mean, it's insane. The power you have in your hands, it's insane. I'll give you another example, just in parentheses. I remember when I used to have the Palm Pilot in 2000, around there, 1999, 2000, and they came with the first extension to have the Palm Pilot become a phone. So I was the first guy with a phone that I could go to the internet. And I remember I went to those days, Earth Cafe in West Hollywood to sit down. And I was the first guy with that thing, a year ahead, anything came out, even with Apple or whatever, or, Windows. And I was using Excel online. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I was completely hooked. I was like, this is the future. This is it. It's what are people doing? They have no idea because people don't explore. I even had the first Google glasses, just to test it. Of course, it was burning me or it was kind of annoying. But it was pretty, goddamn, 20 years ago. God, 15 years ago, I don't know. It was insane. It's insane. It gives you a preview of the future. Sometimes it's too fast, but you got to experiment. I got my money back for that thing, but it's insane the technology out there. Don't be afraid. You don't have to try every gadget, but don't be afraid to, nowadays, for example, I do music for movies. I do street art. Guess what? I told earlier, YouTube, in regards to art, right? An example, right? YouTube show me, Banksy and the guy who does Obey. how they do it, In 20 minutes, I was like, dude, I can do this. If I didn't have YouTube or the channel to watch this and find it, I could have never go in the streets and do street art. But because, 20 minutes, lesson. No school, no art school, nothing. $0. People who spend like, I don't know how much, dead 50,000 for art school. And, suddenly I became like, a big shot in LA for doing something like putting posters like Obey, right? So anyway, and the same with, I forgot, I have another thought. I forgot something else that helped me a lot. Well, the vegan too, like YouTube, made me go vegan. I saw, the slaughterhouse, how they treat the animals. I had no idea. It was hard to find those videos. But then you see, like many people who start sharing, I was like, oh my God. It was so shocking that I was like, I thought like just like the exception. Those videos were like, some hidden crazy places, like psychopaths. And then I realized it was like 99%, and then I became vegan. I was like, what the? Anyway, so to show you that, the power of the internet, like it helped me, like I said, with the phone, with the technology, with knowledge. I did AI classes for free. I remember the first AI Stanford class for free from Stanford University online. Bam! I found this with YouTube. It was YouTube classes, whatever. I don't even know. It was insane. Everything is out there. Embrace it, guys. Embrace it. It's money in the bank. Even Bitcoin, like when it started, I was right there. I was like, So YouTube was a tool to, to give me feedback about the finance. To direct me, to show me like, tips. Of course, there's a lot of noise you have to go through, it won't be like, first clip, boom. And then AI nowadays, it's next level. If YouTube helped me start the point, this is going to, takes me next level. It would take me like, and now you have also Starlink. On top of it, you add all these things, you have, if I was like a teenager, I don't know. I would be like, guys, why go to school? Just master this, kind of like Andrew Tate, take his classes, whatever, join his real world. I checked the class. It's excellent. There's a lot of cool things. If you have no idea what you're doing, it will give you like 5 directions to start crushing. Make money in the bank. It's not easy. You have to do some work. It won't be just get a membership. But I'm not affiliated. But trust me, it's a good starting point to motivate you. It's a bit too much maybe if you like baby steps like me. I have a lot in my head. So if I took those classes, I would go crazy. But it's amazing if you want to, test the waters on different classes. Anyhow, so I sidetracked again. But anyway, I was talking about AI and YouTube, how they changed my life and they saved me. It would take me sometimes like a bug, for example, like a coding bug, a week to figure out. Sometimes it's like maybe months. I had to put it on the side. Now it can be like maximum, like a couple of hours, maybe 1 day, or maybe 2 days. If it's like an evil one, but it would take me like otherwise. Sometimes it's in minutes. Anyway, for coding, for artwork, like I said, musically too, it's kind of like, think of it like this, like AI is more like the, kind of like for the music evolution. It's kind of like, think of like the bands in the old days, like Sinatra, they used to hire a studio, get the band, blah, blah, blah. Michael Jackson had to have, to have the composer, and but eventually after the 80s, the laptop came in, and boom, now you can record, like Skrillex can do everything on the laptop, boom, And then, now you have AI doing the work. You become the assistant. Or vice versa. It's a partnership. It's a collaboration. Your new, ally, your new team, master, crushing it, making you money in the bank. And it's fun. Because we just started. This is the beginning. And it's insane. It's insane. The potential of this is insane. Of course, like I said, there's a dark side. It's not all roses. But use the good things, Use the tools that can help you. The questions. Let's say you want to go healthier. You want to start fasting. Guess what? Ask a plan, ask questions. Hey, I'm new to this. I have no idea. Pretend I'm a child and I have no idea what I'm doing, Guide me, give me some feedback. And it will give you some ideas. It will give you starting points. Sorry for the music. There's karaoke here. Everybody's celebrating. And Luna is enjoying the walk. Let me think of other notes. I have a few. Yeah, for example, in the music, right? My big idol is Vangelis, right? Well, Vangelis, every time I was a kid, I heard him the first time, like in 1990, I think. I linked, it was him, I realized in 2000, I think, who the guy was, because I was hearing those songs. I go, wow, who's this guy? I never linked them together. And I was blown away by his sound. I was like, how does he do that? And I remember I saw one time a video in 2000 on YouTube where he pushed an instrument. He was pushing the key on the instrument. Was making some sound. I was like, what? How the hell does he do that? I went, what a master! What is he doing? You know, is he a magician? What? How did he set it up? And then I found out that keyboard. And then it took me years searching YouTube, Facebook, all these tools, you know, to find the keyboard. And I was like blown away. Now you know, I found exactly how he did it, you know, and how, you know, with those videos, how to kind of like backward engineer, kind of like, you know, like a spy to figure out how to do it. You know, now it's like, of course, the technology, you know, after all those years, you know, that was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and I figured out how, and I got the right machines, and I got to that level of sound. Because, you know, you cannot match, you know, digital with, you know, with the analog, which is, you know, like machines, you know, like electric machines. It's not, you know, just, it's kind of like comparing tape to, you know, CDs. So I was like completely blown away, and I was like, and that's how you master. Because you cannot contact him now. He's dead, you know, unfortunately, you know. God bless him, but, you know, he died a year ago. I never met him. I was outside his house one time in Greece. I should have knocked the door. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to learn a lot from him, but, you know, at least, you know, his legacy and the videos, you know, on YouTube, you know, helped me a lot to direct, you know, my music style and figure out, you know, that, you know, it's not, you know, everything is, the mystery can be, you know, it's kind of a magician. You can learn the tricks now. Everything you want to know, how to cook, how to make money, how to, you know, how to raise your kids. I mean, everything can be. YouTube is like gold mine. Free classes, anything you want, you can learn for free, $0. And people are playing video games. Hey, it beats me, you know. We have the whole encyclopedia in our hands, you know, videos. I mean, you can watch something, you know, in case you don't understand, like me, you know, I'm very visual, artistic, right? Anyway, so like I said, you know, it helped, you know, my finance. I know, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, guess what? How I got here? I never imagined myself to even come to Asia ever. I never was like, oh, I want to go to Asia. But guess what? I saw the videos. I was like, wait a minute, this place looks like Hawaii. This is insane. It's so beautiful. People are nice. I'm like, what? And then I met somebody, you know, great. I was like, whoa, that's how you do it. You look around, the information is out there, you know. But of course, if you spend the time, you know, like I said, you know, TikTok or, you know, swiping or, you know, just, you know, playing video games, I mean, you know, I wish you luck, you know. That's not, you know, there's a good side of technology, and there's a, you know, and there's a, it's called, you know, not good, no bueno. And many people, unfortunately, you know, they go the easy route, you know, the entertainment. But it's good for productivity, you know, to learn to become better, you know, to help you. They have tools there that can make your life so much better and productive. I mean, you can crush it. I mean, literally, like just watching videos and, you know, and the following instructions. Sorry, the dog today is very bad, holding me. Sorry, the camera is like shaking left and right. So also, I'm trying to find what I wrote. I have so many notes. Like I said, obey, right? The art creation, the programming. I mean, I forgot. I mean, the music. I mean, musically, yeah, AI now that can make. You can edit the song. I mean, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait what the future is gonna bring. I mean, it's insane. Anyway, guys, please leave your thoughts. You know, any comments and anything. You know, if you want some advice, what tools I use and how I crush it. I mean, there's so many tools I can share with you, and it will take your your work next level. I mean, with coding too. I mean, with art. Oh my God. I mean, I can't say how much, you know, AI and YouTube, both of them saved my life, and I can't wait what's coming next. I mean, this is good times, you know. Although, you know, I always make my videos very, you know, dark about the negative. You know, there's also a great, you know, opportunity and great, you know, like, I mean, the future is insane. We have just deep, you know, at the starting, we're at the starting line. You know, this is like just a taste of what's coming, and this is insane. You know, so I don't know why people are not embracing. What are they waiting for? You know, it's like the Bitcoin. They were waiting, you know, like 25 years later, I guess. You know, but that's like next level. AI is no Bitcoin nonsense. It's some real stuff. So anyway, see you on the next one, and say hello to Luna in beautiful Philippines. Look at that. Take care now.